If you're facing the bench at the top, a continuation of the Lime Ridge Trail is on your left, marked by a wooden post. It's a shady single track that winds down through chaparral, buckeye, and some nice old oaks. There are some heady views, too.
And it's really lovely the way the trail just goes back and forth between the knolls, which all have beautiful curves, but not quite the ones you're used to. And that's because 99% of the landscape that you're looking at has been rearranged by the lime mining that happened for 50 or 75 years, and big, huge piles of tailings that they moved around to get at the lime between the layers of sand and sandstone. Even though this whole landscape was rearranged, it's been long enough that the oaks have started reestablishing themselves, but they've still managed to get big enough that it looks like they were here forever, when really most of them are less than 50 or 70 years old.
There's good news about wildlife here, too. One vanquished predator is making a comeback. It's that stocky digging machine, the badger.
American badger is one of the top predators around here. A large weasel basically disappeared from the Mount Diablo area in the 1970s. Maybe from ground squirrel poisoning, maybe from some disease like distemper, and then they weren't seen for a long time. Well, 2 or 3 years ago, for the first time, badgers started reappearing in the Lime Ridge area. And we knew this because they were getting killed on Ignacio Valley Boulevard. We would see the roadkill. And there have been a couple of live sightings. And now just a couple of miles south of here on the Ginocchio Ranch, some other badgers have been seen. And it's really great to know that this large predator, which needs large expanses of open space, is reestablishing itself in the grasslands on the north side of Mount Diablo.
Seeing a live badger on the way down would be highly unlikely. They're asleep in their burrows during the day. But you might well see a mule deer or a turkey.
Years ago, there were no wild turkeys on this side of Mount Diablo. Wow. It's been within the last 5 or 6 years, and the first ones I ever saw over here were crossing Kirker Pass Road as I was driving down toward the park. And since that time, they've just gradually increased to where now there are huge flocks of them. We'll see flocks of 20 or 30 of them in Mitchell Canyon and places like that.
And they're doing a lot of damage?
Well, they're vacuum cleaners, seeds in the ground and things like that the native quail and other species might use for food, and they come through and vacuum it up, so they're probably not helping native ground-feeding species.
And they didn't gradually increase, they exploded.
They exploded. It just went from not seeing any to all of a sudden huge flocks of them.
It's rare to go hiking now and not see them. Actually, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with turkeys. I both admire and dislike them. And they are beautiful, and they're big. You know, they're big. They're this big new species that suddenly said, we're taking over this place. I always thought coyotes and bobcats would have no problem taking them out because I could literally run over one in my car just about any morning. So how hard can it be? I was visiting a property with the owner, who's an old-time rancher, and we were talking about the turkeys, and he said he saw a bobcat take on a turkey, and eventually he did kill it. The bobcat was half dead by the time it killed the turkey. So the turkeys are not cream puffs by any means.
Keep walking down the Lime Ridge Trail for about a mile. That's 20 or 30 minutes, until it connects with the fire road. There'll be a pond area surrounded by willows on your left. Stop there for our next segment, Heading Home.